So, last session of Devoxx. Almost going home, everybody. Hope that everybody's enjoying Devoxx this week. Yeah, great. So, Little, our journey. Does everybody know what Devoxx4Kids is? Can I see some hands? Not everybody. Does anybody know what Little is? Okay, nice.
Still a few people.
A few people. Okay, but first let me explain it. Devoxx4Kids, founded by Stefan from Devoxx. Yeah. And if you see, it's a fun way to learn children how to teach the programming language, like Scratch and something, emojis. Also already in a lot of countries. And one of the countries is the Netherlands. And I'm one of the board members of them. Devoxx4Kids in the Netherlands, we started in 2014 to 2020 doing Devoxx4Kids days at companies. And okay, 2020, what did we then the last 2 years? This little bugger. Everybody knows everything did break because COVID doesn't work with a Devoxx4Kids day at a company. Everybody was afraid to have 50 kids inside a company because it could be a super spreader. So it blocked a little bit our mission to learn children how to teach coding. So all our volunteers are saying, okay, but I have a lot of new material. I want to show kids new stuff. But how? But also at the time, schools are informing us from, hey, is there someone who can teach our kids at school? So our volunteers also told, can we do this? But how? That's why we think about Little. Yeah, Little. So Little is born in October 21, and the idea comes from the board members of the Netherlands Devoxx4Kids. But okay, board members, but we need more people in it. So we started the project, and in that project, I'm a project owner for the project Little, with a front-end team, a back-end team, and we start working. Okay, but who am I? I'm Eddy Vos, already 20 years coding Java. Started in 2016 with Devoxx4Kids, helping children to teach them. And in 2022, I was asked to step into the board as a treasurer. So, but my main vision is learning kids, because my kids also inspired me to learn them. And if I looked at my daughter, she's totally inspired, also coding a lot.
Yes, I'm Pepijn Schildkamp. I'm living in Arnhem in the Netherlands, and I'm in lead of the backend of the Little platform. On my main job, I work at CFE as a solution architect, and currently we are also organizing a lot of fun meetups at the Arnhem Juk.
So, what is Little exactly? Now, Little is, in the first place, open source. We really want everybody to contribute and learn from it and to do stuff. And also, it will be a meeting place for guest teachers and schools. It's more to be in contact with each other. And a nice thing is, what we want to establish is that everything is for free. So if a school wants a guest teacher at a school giving lessons, it will cost them nothing. Because we embrace the open source project, so also doing the teaching for free. And also all our materials will be placed on our Little platform. And schools, if they don't want a guest teacher, they can just download all the materials and give the lessons themselves. Because, yeah, we really need more IT staff. And let's start with children. They like it. So, we started in October, so I want to take you a little journey, so I have a timeline. And in the timeline, we started in October 21 with a kickoff. We had 60 volunteers in the first session, brainstorming what we're going to do. And from these 60 people, we make 3 teams, and let's do it agile. So 3 Scrum teams. One is going to schools, having interviews with schools. What do they want? What do they need? Because if you build a platform, you really need some requirements. But also looking at ourselves as a developer who want to teach. What do I want on that platform? Because, for instance, I don't want to give my phone number open over the internet. So let's also do some requirements on our stuff. And also we had some team doing some research, what's on the market already, because we embrace the vision. And if there is already a platform, we maybe can work together, because we are not unique. A partnership can always be done. But the platforms in the Netherlands are all asking money to the schools. And that's one of the points we did say, that's not going to work.
Yes, November. That's where my journey with Little started. First, I saw a LinkedIn post, people asking for volunteers for the initiative of Little. That was before JVOL. JVOL is a big Java conference in the Netherlands. I saw the LinkedIn post, I subscribed and wanted to join the session in October, but I got ill. So I declined last minute. I'm really eager to go to conferences, so I was at the early sessions, and there I met Koen, who was talking about the Little initiative on JVOL. So I got in contact again. He had a presentation about what the idea was, what we trying to achieve with this concept. So after the session, I got in contact with Koen. The session was great. I really enjoyed it. Fun fact is, it was really at early stages. So some people in the audience asked Koen, they told him, maybe it's a good idea if you want to do this initiative, that you register the domain name. So Eddy was also in the audience on his phone, registering little.org. That's how new this idea was. So after the session, I talked to Koen. He said, well, we also have a stand at JVOL. So I subscribed. And I wanted to participate in building the platform, but also to be a guest teacher myself. I enjoy teaching people about things that what I'm keen on doing. And I think for the first conference at JVOL that we had a pretty big list of people who are also keen on the idea of Little. So not only the part of building the platform itself, but also people subscribing when the platform launches to be a guest teacher. So in January, we had 3 Scrum teams who were doing the interviews, who were looking up how to do this initiative. But when we had our plans and we really wanted to start building the platforms, we started 3 new teams. Because we had a lot of volunteers joining us from JVOL, for example. We had a lot of Java developers, but also front-end developers. So we decided to make 3 teams. We started building a back-end in Java. We needed a front-end. And the application and the platform has to be hosted somewhere. So we also needed some infra and maybe think about the architecture of the deployments so it can be used not only for us, but anyone who wants to do it. So we started with the Git repositories, greenfield project. So we have to first make the repositories, but we had the idea, we had the presentations, but we had nothing. When we talked to colleagues or talked to friends, we had nothing to refer to. So we needed a website as well. So that was one of the first things we did. We needed little.org so we can refer people to that website. We talk to teachers, for example, and it's you can talk to them, but if they want more information or they want to get in contact with us, we really liked the idea to have a website ourselves as well. So when you have a greenfield project, you have a lot of opportunities, a lot of decisions to make, and we started brainstorming. What do we need? We had a lot of Java developers on board, so Java for us was a logic choice. We had front-end developers on board who were keen on using Angular. For us, for Little, we just want to have the platform. The technology is just helping us deliver this platform. We needed some solutions for our data storage, so maybe a MySQL database would be sufficient. We are open source, so for us, GitHub was a really logic choice. We can use it as a Git repository, but GitHub also offers some pipelining to build our artifacts. So after we made a stack choice, and we brainstormed on the choice, what we were going to use, the next thing was, well, what if we finish our platform, we need to host it somewhere. And that's where the cloud offering comes to hand. There's a lot, Google Cloud, AWS, Azure. I think we have a pretty simple solution, so every cloud offering would be okay for us. But we need funding, because cloud is not for free.
So we started in March. We had 10 dedicated volunteers working on our code base, starting up the back end, the front end. Also, all the interviews that we had, we converted it in user stories, just easily to pick it up. So if you had some spare time in the evening, pick up a user story and go 2 hours and you had something. But at the end, in March, we had still no working code base. Okay, say what? 6 months already ahead and nothing. And we looked at it, okay, what's the problem then? And the problem is, it's a greenfield project. And you have to start a completely fresh project. And everybody was working from home. And okay, you have a lot of decisions to make. And they were all eager to do it first time right. But what is then first time right? What is the correct choice? That's difficult to start. And okay, how can you solve this issue? That's why we started a hackathon. We came together all and brainstormed it, and we started already coding at that hackathon. We had a team with front end, team with back end, picked up the user stories, and our first coding was launching. And that was great to see. But that was in April, and April was a very busy month for us, because in that month also we had a very big conference for the education in the Netherlands. There is a conference called the Innovation Platform Education Netherlands. About 6,000 teachers are coming by in 2 days, listening to see what's new on IT in education. And we got the chance to broadcast our little idea. Still had no code base, only our mission, but we really need some feedback. So we got the chance to have a talk every day during the lunch, and it was crowded. And we got a lot of feedback, a lot of questions from the teachers, and we also embedded it in our journey. So we had new insights, and with the new insights we start working together. And also we start working on, okay, how can we do this at the school? How are we going to work this out? So Pepijn came with a great solution, because
Die vals bij me op.
So one of the schools that Pepijn interviewed asked us, can you help us educate some children because they're in the group 7, 8. The 8 had to do an exam. But the children from group 7, they had nothing at hand. So we go there with some MBOTs and education, and that morning we teach them how to code. And it was quite fun because you got to see it's working. In Dutch, it worked. And that was about in 2 hours of coding in Scratch. Fun to see. The nice thing is we also give them some challenges that were not documented because we had some lessons material. But for instance, obstacles during the drive were not explained. And some kids made it to work. So go around the obstacle just by coding. And that in 1 morning already. So after that, we get a lot of notes back from them that they really liked it. So even we had a grammar correction sent. This was nice to see. So our idea works. Children likes it at schools to be teach how fun is in coding.
But still, we needed to develop the platform further, and we needed support. So we got the opportunity to join TechNation and JSpring, both conferences in the Netherlands, where the programmers and the technicians were participating. We got the opportunity to have a little stand over there and tell them about LITTIL. And also from those conferences, we had some people who were interested in joining us, either via contributions to our platform, but also to be a guest teacher when the platform is going to be live. We had our second hackathon. As you can see, I'm joined remotely. I had corona, so I couldn't participate in the way I would like to have. Reason for our second hackathon was we had people working on the platform, and they were asking us, okay, but what do we need to work? What's the highest priority? And we found it quite difficult when we're all working our main jobs. We do this at the evenings. We have some meetings, but mostly with communicating via Slack, for example. But refinement of stories and to really have stories who are really good refined, so people who want to contribute were hard to make. So what we thought was, well, if that's not possible remotely, maybe we should just join in an hackathon and not focus on building the platform, not focus on making progress, but just get together and think about what is the next logic step and practically what should be made. So that was our second hackathon.
Okay, in January we had some technologies to choose, with a platform to choose, and we are working on it, and we're working on funding. And it resulted that we got a deal with AWS. AWS did see our mission, and they embraced it. And we can land on their platform. That's nice to see, because we had a lot of coding to deploy, and okay, we want to play around this, and now we had an environment to build. We also made some choices, like first thing, we were working in Spring Boot, we made it it was a little bit slow, so we converted everything already to Quarkus. That was one of the main changes that we did. And the most important also what we did, I was working on funding, and I thought funding is hard to get in the Netherlands. But if you get confirmed as an official charity with the Dutch tax office, people can over. So we got that one. So if the companies in the Netherlands want to sponsor us, they get a tax reduce. Always good. It's a win-win situation for us at least.
Not really. AWS was keen enough to help us out with the deployment of our platform itself. So, like I said before, we had different choices to be made. We approached some suppliers told about our LITTIL initiative. And it was awesome because AWS was keen on helping us out. So they give us some credits so we can run the platform for a whole year. But the next thing they did as well is they sent over some solution architects. So I won't go into detail about the AWS stack or what we came up with, because it's a pretty simple setup, I think. We looked at how what was the most efficient way, but also what is the most cost-efficient way, because we had some credits, but we have to we had to run the platform for a whole year, of course. So AWS was helping us out how we could deploy our LITTIL platform on AWS. So at that moment we are working on the infrastructure as code or to deploy the platform. So we talked a little bit about our initiative, and we talked about that we had some bumps along the way, and we are not quite there yet. And then we thought, maybe a live demo. We are really working hard on the back end. We had some, and on the front end, people are working hard. But let's be honest, we made a little demo environment for you, just to show you our idea and how it's gonna work. So it's not really live. We have some mock data. It's a simple demo, but we hope with this small demo that you can visualize how LITTIL will work in the future. Yes, thanks. We already have a website. So we were thinking, do we need a platform and a website separated, or do we just need to integrate the platform into our website? We did the other way around. So we started our platform and we said, okay, let's migrate all the website pages to our platform itself. So we are currently still working on it, but this should be our LITTIL platform in the future. We have some information about what we do, what we are, and what people can expect from us, and basic details. But the most interesting thing, and again, it's a little demo. So the most interesting thing is that people join us. So we have some registration. You can register to a platform, and this time it will only show you how to register, but when you log in later, you'll be asked additional questions. So, yes.
Does it exist in English as well?
The platform will be launched first in the Netherlands, but it is open source. So if, for instance, Devoxx4Kids Belgium or Devoxx4Kids UK says, we also want a platform in our country, they just can check out in GitHub the complete project and deploy it on their cloud, what they have. Because as GDPR, our data has to be in the Netherlands. So we made the choice for, okay, we only deploy it for the Netherlands now. That's why our site is Dutch. But it can easily be translated. So the front end is just reading out some data for the Dutch word. If you translate it in English, French, anything, you can deploy it on your own space.
And do you also contribute the French and the English version?
Not yet. That's why we are here for this presentation, and we hope that everybody starts contributing all over the world and also adopting this project and also deploy it in their country.
Yeah, so the AWS environment is just how is our solution for in the Netherlands. But like Eddie said, it's open source. So if you can check it out, you can build your own images and host it in your country where you like to use this platform. So for now, indeed, the website is in the Netherlands, of in Dutch. I'm sorry. You can register it. simple. You will get a user account, and after that you will be asked for additional information. So are you a guest teacher? Are you working at a school? Where are you located? Because we want to make matches based on radius. After you log in, you will find a screen where you can search for people who are in the neighborhood, who are willing to do some classes, but also guest teachers. Maybe you want to give a workshop at a school, but you're really not keen on doing it yourself. So we would like that people also connect, the technicians also connect to do a workshop together at a school. We have some modules, Scratch, Code, Combat, for example. Those are just things you can use at the workshops. So, like I said, this is just mock data, but to give you an idea, you can just filter on those modules. So maybe as a school you you really want kids to work with Scratch, you can filter on it, and you can look in the radius around the school, for example. And if you find someone who is willing to give a workshop with the correct modules, who is living in that area, then LITTIL will help you out to contact that person. So it's a little demo about how what our idea is behind this platform. So, what's next for us? What we want to achieve this month is that the whole flow of registration for a school and for a teacher will be finished. It is already finished in our backend stack, but we are still working on the front-end stack, so we can launch a platform so people can register it already. If we are standing on conferences, for example, we don't have to work with an Excel sheet, but we can live register people who are willing to be a guest teacher, for example. The second thing is, what we find most important is the search engine, so that people can find each other on the maps. The goal for January next year is that the messaging system, the messaging solutions, that not only we can facilitate, not only that people can find each other, but also we can facilitate that people actually can get in touch with each other. So that's our goal for January next year.
So we are standing here with this project because also we need help. We have now 10 dedicated people, but it will be very challenging if everybody all over the world start working on this code base. Because if you have one code base and everybody can use the project for their own country, we can learn from each other and we benefit from each features of each other. Also for the coding material, because our coding material will be placed for free online, and maybe our people are willing to translate it. Maybe they think, oh, I see a lot of English in material, and I can translate it to French, for instance. Everything is welcome. We also have signed up together with a professor from the University of Leiden in the Netherlands with the coding language Heidi. Heidi is a new language for children to easily learn the first steps of coding. It's a little bit more difficult than Scratch. Scratch is drag and drop. Heidi is really coding, more like Python. We also need some little help with our infra, because we have now at this moment one developer that's really keen on AWS, and he's helping us really out on this one. But it's only one guy, and we really like some backups. So if you have some AWS experience, please join us. Okay, but what did we learn now from this year? Because we're now already a year ahead. We made we had a lot of volunteers, but commitment was a little bit low. And we had some challenges because we had some time frames in our mind. From okay, when the new school season starts, Little has to be ready. We didn't make that one because everybody had also do the day job. So we learned to be patient. So one of our enemies was just time. That's a big lesson that we had. Also, what we learned, if you initiate a hackathon, you make a lot of pace because everybody's sitting together and everybody after the hackathon starts coding in the evenings. And after that, you see it going down. So after the second hackathon, we speed it up again. So the goal is every quarter of the year, we try to initiate a hackathon in the Netherlands. And also one of the teachings of what we have learned, we had a lot of code checked in, and some people started refactoring the code that was checked in. But it was working, so why refactor? Okay, you can't like how someone is programming, but please keep it in a working phase, and don't start refactoring, first make it working. That's also a lesson that we learned. So our big call out is, please join us, because what can you expect then? You will be a committer for an open source project, a contributor. How cool is that to have that behind your name? And also, you learn some new people from the community, not only from the Netherlands, also from outside the Netherlands. We have a Slack channel running for our project. Everybody's talking there, everybody's learning from each other. So you also learn from the knowledge from other developers. Pair programming sessions is also available. The backend team and the frontend team have a weekly pair programming with a team session open. Very cool to do, and also chat with each other. And the biggest thing is benefit: schools and children will use your material. How cool is that? To see children work on your stuff. Okay, we are 1 year ahead, and we are coming so far because we had a lot of sponsors this month. I really thank the sponsors, but that's more the money part. It's not interesting, but I really like to have all our contributors on our code base, because a lot of people worked very, very hard on it. And it would be nice to have an applause for them. Yeah. And when a really, really, really hard a guy that did a lot of things, that was our depender bot. Because that guy was a lot of mail throwing around every day he was doing some updates. If you're interested, you can contact us. We have all our information available. These are the board members you can directly mail. We have an info@little.org if you are interested in the project itself. Our website, currently in Dutch, sorry, but you can also respond in English to us if you mail us. Our GitHub repository is also open. And also these slides are also in our GitHub at this moment. If you want to see it again, want to look how we did it, you can just download it. Everything is open source, everything is for free. So I really hope, and there's a shout out, that you embrace this project and help us out, and also bring it to the other countries. So I really thank you.